Hey there, Victoria Scott here, back with your next tip. This tip is about prioritization. We're going to look at two questions here. What are the most important things to get done? And when does each thing need to get done? How do you know what's the most important thing to get done? This is a legitimate question. It's important to understand what makes a task important. What will getting it done give you? And why is that important? Maybe you're thinking about tasks at work, and they're important because you want a job to provide for your family. Wow, that's a new and different way of thinking about why a task is important. Connecting something that feels like a chore to something we value can help motivate us to look past the perceived annoyance of the task to what's really important and put things in perspective. It can also help us to identify the things that felt like they were important but really aren't. Maybe you have a pretty big task on your to-do list because an acquaintance asked you to do a favor and you didn't want to say no. But if all that doing that task is giving you is avoiding feeling bad for saying no, then is it really important? Maybe it's important to actually say no to give yourself some time back, and maybe avoiding feeling bad isn't worth it. So really examine what makes it important. Identify if you've got it right or if there are things on that to-do list that need to fall off. So when does it actually have to get done? And we have a lot on our to-do list. The tendency can be to rush through things and get them all done so that we can get them off the to-do list. But doing that to ourselves can give us a false perception of when things actually need to happen. Sometimes we get tasked to do things, particularly at work, that doesn't give us enough time to complete the task to the appropriate level of quality. That's just kind of become the trend in the way that everyone works or overworks. If you followed my last tip and you made a list of everything that was humanly possible to get done in the day, maybe you realized that you had a whole lot more on your to-do list every day than what was really humanly possible. That might give you a clue that things are out of balance at work. Maybe instead of putting on your superhero cape and figuring out how to get things done that aren't humanly possible, you could talk to your boss. A good boss will help you figure out the priorities and how to shift things around so that everything can get done without you overworking yourself. And if you're thinking to yourself, my manager would never have a conversation with me about that, they would just want me to figure it all out, then maybe that tells you that things are out of alignment at work and it's not your problem to solve. Maybe it's a cultural issue and it's time to start looking for another job. I could help you with that. Reflect on what's really important, what can fall off that list. I'll be back tomorrow with another tip.